Hey guys, and Nathan Brandon Masters. So, we're going to look at another brand of Sumia ink, and I don't know what this brand is called because, again, I can't read Japanese, and there is no actual English translation on this bottle. Now, I'm going to take a guess that this is another version of Yasutomo ink because I've seen other bottles that look exactly like this one, except it has like a pour spout on it, but it has the same look, same design, same green top, all that stuff. And when you search for Sumiya ink, the brand that keeps coming up is Yasutomo. So I'm going to have to assume that this is Yasutomo in another bottle, which is fine because the way I'm looking at this right now, you can never have too much Yasutomo. And yes, I like saying Yasutomo. I'm going to do something a little crazy here, and I'm going to switch to a brush versus a brush pen. So this is going to be fun. Be ready for some nice thick lines right here. I'm going to do an image of Victor Locke Demon Hunter, and this is going to be just a little something. It's not going to be highly detailed or anything like that. It's just going to be a straight up pen and ink image. This is kind of like something that I would send to my colorist and, let her kind of... Actually, that's not true because I would... there are some things I would put like a little bit more emphasis and, a little bit more work into before I sent it out for a book. But this is just going to be a basic overall... just an image. It's going to be a basic overall image. Very basic, very clean. Speaking of which, I've already just jacked up that hand right there. So much for inking with the brush. That's fun stuff right there. But this little staff that he's holding, this is something that we don't see in the comic book a lot. But if you see the Epitaph Bread and Salt movie, this is his steak staff. It's a hand bowl that he breaks it apart and there's a staff inside. There's a steak inside actually. So he can use it as a handle, breaks it apart, and there's a steak inside. Victor actually fights with it in the movie. You can see here there's a little blood on it, so he's staked a vampire already. For the movie, I had to actually make that prop from scratch. It was 2 pieces of thin tubing and a piece of wood that I whittled down to be the stake, and then another tube I just slid on the top and capped off both ends, and then I painted it black, and then I got a piece of PVC pipe, and I made it look like the other one, and we fought with the fake one until it broke, and then we actually fought with the real one, at least for the staff stuff. I don't in the Epitaph Bread and Salt, nobody actually got staked. So everybody just got shot with the shotgun, but nobody actually got staked. So, but I did, we did get a good hand bowl fighting there. Now I had another image drawn, but I drew it yesterday. It's really nice, and I drew it yesterday, but it was yesterday. It didn't really count for today, so I went ahead and drew another image since I had the time. The other thing I drew is actually going to be popping up in a book somewhere. I was actually drawing it for a graphic novel that I had, and I drew it for the opening page, but I felt that it would be more, I don't know, I just felt that it would be better suited being in one of the actual comic books that I'm doing than that particular graphic novel. But you never know, I go back and forward on what I want to do with the image. So it might end up in the graphic novel since it is just a straight up pen and ink image. There's no color to it, but it's also on watercolor paper. And just because of the way I am, I really just feel like throwing it with the other watercolor paper that I'm going to do the comic books with. Just like throw it right there and it fits right in. Now, when we were talking about this ink originally, I mentioned that there was a version that was waterproof and a version that wasn't waterproof. The version that wasn't waterproof, I remember it came in a bottle that looked like the bottle that I have here. the green and black bottle. So after I finished this piece, I waited till the ink was dry, and then I went over the ink with my water brush. And sure enough, the ink did smear. So this is the non-waterproof version. So this is what I'll use when I'm doing my pen and ink stuff. Like, and I'm doing a book and I just want to do pen and ink, no colors. This is what I'll use for that. This or my Black Cat ink, but probably this because it's darker than the Black Cat ink. I did actually also test this ink with alcohol markers, and I didn't have any problem. I am really loving the Samiya ink, in the green bottle, the green bottle I showed you guys the other day. I'm really loving that ink. It's coming out really nice, especially on the watercolor paper. So that's fun. I'm going to see what it's like on just plain Bristol. I did a little, I did some line work, just, drawing some random lines, and that came out well. So I really want to see what drawing on Bristol will be like with the Samiya ink. And I may actually switch off and just use that Samiya ink, since, like I said, I won't be adding any color to it or anything. If I do the graphic novel idea I'm thinking about, I'm not going to be adding any actual colors to that. At least not here. In post, I might do something, maybe some gray tones, or maybe some what they used to call zipatone back in the day, which is now all done by computer. There's still some people who do it by hand. I would never touch that stuff. I tried using it way back in high school. I was so bad at it. Thank God for computers. I was so bad with zipatone. But I might, in post do some of the dot patterns and stuff like that, the dot shading. There's an actual name for it, but I forget it right now. But something like that with the new Samiya ink. I mainly drew this just to see what this ink would look like, so I just threw something down real quick. You guys take it easy. Nathan Brandon Masters. See you guys tomorrow. Hasta.
Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire will burn and never